Before the 17th century, in Ogoni, marriage wasn't about grand ceremonies or lavish dowries. It was deeply rooted in community and family ties. This was the era of the endogamous matrilineal system, where women stayed within their mother's compounds and the idea of bride wealth didn't exist. A family with a daughter ready for marriage weren't looking far. They searched within their own community for a young man who embodied the values they cherished: hard work, dependability, and a good reputation. But this wasn't a quick process. It began with careful inquiries. The girl's family would investigate the young man's moral character, his family background, and how he carried himself in the village. Was it someone they could trust with their daughter? Once they found a suitable match, the courtship began. It was subtle yet deliberate. The girl's mother might approach the young man with a small task, like fixing a leaking roof or climbing a coconut tree to gather fruit. These weren't just chores. They were a test of character. Could he rise to occasion? Would he show initiative? If the young man responded eagerly, he would be showered with praises and gratitude. Over time, he would take the lead, offering his help to the girl's senior maternal uncle during the farming season, like clearing land or planting yams, always ready with his tools. This courtship could last a year or two, a slow dance of trust building and mutual respect. Finally, when the moment was right, the family would make it official. They would tell the young man, "Our daughter loves you, and we want you to care for her as your wife." From there, he will prepare for a simple yet sacred ceremony that would seal the union. On the chosen evening, the young man arrived at the girl's compound with a calabash of palm wine, a bottle of traditional gin, and a small number of manilis, symbolized as gugitemi, that is, prop money. The girl's senior maternal uncle, acting as priest, he led the ritual. He would pour libations to the ancestors, calling them by the name, and place the girl's hand in the young man's, binding them as husband and wife. From that moment, they were recognized as a couple. But here's a twist. Any children born belonged to the girl's family and lineage, not the boys. The children are cared for by the girl's mother and uncle. This was a system where the mother's line held power and continuity. But change was coming to Ogoni. By the 1600s, the world around them was shifting, and so were their marriage practices. Oral traditions from Nama tell us that the founding of new towns and the pursuit of prestigious titles like the Ogoni title required sacrifices, sometimes even human sacrifices. Men began traveling to the hinterlands to trade for ritual victims, often condemned criminals. And in these journeys, something new emerged. Men started marrying women from distant communities, sometimes even converting slaves into wives. These long-distance marriages marked the beginning of a new system, exogamous patrilineal marriage. Unlike before, children born to this union stayed with their father's family, becoming his direct heirs. This was a marriage of the elite, titled men and wealthy who could afford to travel and pay bride wealth. The turning point came with the Ban Wars and the overthrow of the Bariayo dynasty at Luawi These conflicts disrupted the matrilineal system. Families headed by women lacked protection and the children were displaced. While for the families headed by men, it was different. The men stepped in to take direct control over their household. The old ways began to fade, replaced by the system where men sought out wives for their sons and bride wealth became central. In this new system, families use creative methods to arrange marriages. Poorer families exchange daughters. Your daughter for mine. Your daughter gets married to my son. My daughter gets married to your son. No cash needed. Others offered land as the bride wealth, redeemable later. And for the wealthy, bride wealth could reach up to 1,200 manilis for the most sought-after women. By the 19th and 20th century, cash crop and wage labor brought more wealth to Ogoni men, fueling a rise in bride wealth. Education added even more value to brides, with amounts soaring from 400 manilis in 16,000 to as much as 5,000 naira by 1948. The rules reversed completely. Now the groom's family investigated the bride's character and background, and her father, not her uncle, presided over the wedding. The children born belong to the father's lineage, a stark contrast to the past. Yet, traces of the old matrilineal system lingers, like the system of Biabe, where the first daughter, Sidra, is not married out, but kept to bear children. The children bears the name of her father. This system is still practiced by some Ogoni families till today, a reminder of the Ogoni's deep-rooted tradition. The story of marriage in Ogoni is more than a tale of rituals. It's a window into a culture that has adapted, evolved, and thrived through centuries of change. From matrilineal bonds to patrilineal legacies, the Ogoni have woven love, family, and community into the fabric of their history. From this journey, we can learn that traditions, no matter how ancient, are shaped by the needs and dreams of the people who carry them forward. Explore more with the Ogoni of the Eastern Niger Delta by Sompe Kunentonwe. To order, link is in the bio. Don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts, and stay tuned for our next video. See you in the next.